大丈夫だって。レナがそんな短絡的なことをするわけないよ。まあ仮にそうでも自分の身くらい守れるからね。
Mion said it brightly, as if trying to tell me she wasn't afraid of anything. But I couldn't be optimistic like her, because I knew exactly what Rena was going through. Rena must be determined by now, and she probably wouldn't mind dying fighting against Mion if she wasn't going to win anyway. Of course, that didn't mean she was definitely going to take violent action. But I couldn't deny the possibility either.
それよりおじさんが気にかかるのは、どうしてレナが急に変になっちゃったのか、その理由の方だね。
Was there any reason? I remembered the tragedy. I couldn't remember what made the world go crazy. But I remembered we got lost in that awfully scary world. It started with small things, and those small things continued to pile up one after another. If you thought about it calmly, you'd laugh, because it was really a stupid thing. But once those little tiny stupid things started to bother you, you couldn't ignore them. It was that kind of disease. I think it is something that I said earlier. Like, in a metaphorical sense, figuratively speaking, like the disease comes from mistrust. One of the core themes of this story is definitely friendship and trust / mistrust. And the mistrust in your friends is what will pile the disease more and more on you. So you could say that, well, you can see it in two ways. One would be that we would stop this disease with a literal cure, like drugs and all that. We would stop the secret entity from doing their disease-related attack / bioterrorist attack / whatever. But in the other sense, as long as we grow our friendship stronger and stronger, then we will be able to fight the disease much easier. There is definitely a pattern there. Mistrust, paranoia. Trust, not so much of a disease. Cause, you know, Rena has been going through some shit right here. But I do believe that it is because Rena still believes in Keiichi and has trust in Keiichi that she still manages to walk on her 2 feet. Otherwise, Rena wouldn't have even be able to have gone to Keiichi's house last night. Who knows, maybe she would have ended up the same way as Shion, like end of chapter 2/5, like stabbing Keiichi while at her worst mentally. But no, last night, because she still has that trust in Keiichi that she's still able to walk on her 2 feet and, you know, think properly, even if she's still being attacked by the disease. If you could call it one. But there must have been a reason. Now, if I am to think of it like that, would that imply that Rika has it the worst? That she literally does not trust anyone. She has the worst case of mistrust in everybody. Yeah, I mean, when you go through so many timelines, it's hard, at some point it's kind of hard for you to think just as strongly as you did the first times. I don't know, but there must have been a reason. There must have been a reason that made the world go crazy. But it must be such a small thing that you couldn't even notice. And unfortunately, the reason was very difficult to understand. And you wouldn't be able to figure it out until you died.
親戚にお医者がいてね、ちょっと聞いてみたんだけど、脳とかに腫瘍ができて、たまたまそれが珍しいところだったりすると、性格が急に変わったり、普段と別人みたいになってしまうことがあったりするんだって。 大昔はこの病気が悪魔つきや狐つきなんて呼ばれてオカルト的に脚色されてたこともあるんだってさ。
ってことはつまり脳という体の一部に起きた肉体的な病気ってわけか。
今回に関しては精神的と捉えてもいいかもしれないね。レナはリナ鉄平殺しの後かなり動揺していて心が不安定になってた時期があった。そんな時期に大石のバカタレが富武さんたちの事件を大げさに吹き込むもんだから。
大石さんって人もさ、高野さんのスクラップ帳に少し似てるとこがあるかもな。
へえ、どの辺が？
なんていうのかな、Hinamizawa村連続開始事件というものが存在しているというあたりについて盲信しているというか。現に5年連続で起こってるのにこんなことを言うのもなんだけど、俺さ、もともと連続事件なんて存在しないんじゃないかって思ってる。
It was true that the mysterious incidents happened 5 years in a row, but they were each solved individually. It was the same as a past you didn't need to talk about. We thought of them as a series of mysterious deaths, which is why we thought something was going to happen this year too. It led us to think that there was a conspiracy, and that the Sonozaki family was behind it. We connect those things to the series of mysterious deaths, but you shouldn't do that in the first place. Just like I tried to keep my distance from Rena when I found out about her dark past. Wasn't everybody trying to keep their distance from the dark past of Hinamizawa? Takano-san's scrapbooks are a good example. She dramatized both recent incidents and old crew history, and she made feasible stories out of them, saying that the Sonozaki family was behind it all. Oishi-san did the same thing too. He was so convinced that the Sonozaki family was behind it all that he was making him interpret things the wrong way. In that sense, we could say Oishi-san believed in the same delusion as Ren.
その辺にはさ、何かあるごとに黒幕のように振る舞う園崎家の責任もあるんじゃねえのかな。
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe you did one or two things, like horrible things in the past. You guys being behind everything that has led us to this point that we are right now? I don't think so. I made that point very clear. But as I said before, Mion, it surely hasn't helped that you guys acted like you did all this. It surely doesn't help like one bit.
この村では何かおかしなことがあれば全て園崎家の暗躍。それで決着をつけられてしまう魔法の言葉になっちゃってるんだよ。例えて言えばほら、この世の現象は全てプラズマで説明できるみたいな感じだよ。
ほー、つまりそれは何を？園崎家が全部悪いってわけ？
そうだ、お前が全部悪い。よってお前の名前は今日からプラズマミオンと呼ぶ。うわ、なんだかレスラーみたいな名前だな。
You know, I feel like that's fitting too, because Plasma, you know, at the very least, when it comes to, say, the Fallout games, it is depicted in green, like, you know, with a plasma gun. Like, in those games you have like the plasma guns and you have the laser guns. The plasma, I think it was plasma, right? It was depicted in green, so yeah, it surely fits you. Be on.
はあはあ、プロレスラー大いに結構。そうだケイちゃん、コブラツイストって知ってる？
Please, not in the middle of the village.
やめろ。このクソ暑いのに絡みつくな。いててて。やー。
おはようございますですわ、ケイチさん。
Hello, little one.
おはようなのです。
Hello, the other little one. Sadako and Rika-chan looked a little sad when they saw only the two of us. If the three of us came to school together like always, I would have been really happy. But our classmates were as noisy as usual. Nobody seemed to make a big deal about Rena's absence. Chie-sensei was going to be here soon, and she'd start morning homeroom. Everyone was fooling around as if they didn't want to miss a second at a time until then.
ねえ、今日は臭い。窓閉めて。
バーカ、窓を閉めたらもっと暑くなるんだよ。
It smelled like gasoline or something. Like it really stank. Someone from the forestry service must have been putting gasoline into the construction equipment or something. Some students near the windows were making a fuss because they wanted to close the windows to shut out the smell. Our school wasn't a normal school compared to others. We were using a part of the forestry service building. Unusual things like this happen sometimes. Gasoline. Fire.
いやいや、こんなの大したことないって。いつだったかな、貝塚いぶきを剪定した枝葉をトラック山盛り何杯分か運び込んできたことがあってさ。あれはひどかった。あの独特の刺激臭は頭痛を起こさせるよね。
貝塚いぶきって何ですの？お野菜の名前なのです。たまにカレーに入ってますのですよ。
今度スーパーに行ったら探してみろ。
よくわかんないけど、最初はリカとケイチさんに毒味をさせた方が良さそうでございますわね。
あれー、俺たちのボールがねえ。王女、お前がまた隠したんだろう。
The boys seemed to be looking for their ball for a while, and they yelled at Satoko.
誰がそんなものを隠しますの？どうせ隠すならもう少し気の利いたものを隠しましたよ。
ほらほら、先生来たよ。みんな席に着きな。
はい、皆さん。
Hello.
席についてください。
Lovely as always. I kept thinking about Rana the whole time during class. I thought about what she said last night. I wonder what her come from behind victory means. According to Takano-san's delusion, the masterminds behind the bioterrorism were the three families and a group of fanatical believers that controlled those three. Like, if I'm to think about the Hinamizawa disaster that we've seen in Chapter 3 and 4, it would happen at night, that's for sure, / early morning. If this was something that Takano and the secret organization have in mind to do, how the fuck will we be able to stop that? Actually, maybe there is. Like, maybe, as I said, we will go to the clinic and we would have even more evidence that, okay, clearly this disease comes from like manufactured drugs that are inserted in people. But not only that, maybe we would find something in the secret areas of the clinic that we could use to blackmail Takano / the secret organization. We could use something from there that will be to our advantage. Hell, as I theorized before, maybe that syringe that Rika carries like all the time, maybe she took it from the A.k.a. clinic. So she definitely knows. In other words, the Sonzaki family. What could Rena do alone against them? Mion lived with her grandmother, the leader of the Sonzaki family. There were only two of them in the house. It was possible that Rena would try to break into their house with a knife. But I already come up with that possibility last night. That's why I called Mion and warned her. Yeah, to be honest, that would lead us nowhere. That would be just a waste of time if she were to do that, so I hope that she doesn't go that route. On the way to school this morning, Mion told me some bodyguards from the Corps had been at her house since this morning. She told me she guarded herself too. There was a black car parked near the school gate. They must have been the bodyguards. Maybe Kasai is there too. But according to Takano's parasite theory, the battle wouldn't end just by attacking the leader of the Sonozaki family. According to the delusion she believes in, the conditions of her victory were more complicated than that. She needed to expose the group of fanatics who are behind the Sonozaki family, and she needed to destroy their research on the parasite. Plus, Ren didn't have much time left, thanks to that suspicious poison she mentioned. That, or if we're going with the alien thing, what are we supposed to do? I don't know, is there some building, like empty building in Hinamizawa? We would go there in some other fashion to, I don't know, Dan, and we could do something to summon the aliens there, and then a UFO would just come in, and then we would do like a surprise attack on the aliens. Although that would mean that we would need to use somebody as bait. So, Mion, how about we use you as bait? We would use you as bait. You would be captured by the aliens when they are gonna try and take your banana, and then we would We would do like a surprise attack on them. But how exactly could she win a come-from-behind victory under circumstances like that? She might interpret that the town council are the group of fanatics. If so, she might attack them the next time they are having a meeting at the shrine. The town council meets once a month at most. It would be hard to believe that they were holding a meeting today. She probably thought the place researching the parasite is the a.k.a. clinic. Yes! Come on. Can we do something with this idea? Rena suspected that there was something fishy about the clinic from the beginning, and the suspicion must have changed to certainty in her head by now. Did that mean she was going to attack the clinic? I don't know. Maybe Keiichi, and the rest of the girls should go to a.k.a. clinic right now. Just saying. Let's just follow our gut instincts and see if there's something suspicious going on there. This wasn't like an action movie. What could she do all by herself? Was she going to start a fire? No, that would be pointless. In order to expose the conspiracy, she'd have to get proof that they were actually studying the parasite. Was she going to break into the clinic and get questionable weird samples? Maybe. Possibly. That would be like my favorite idea. I hope that Rena is going to do just that. The last problem of all was how much time she had left. If she believed she didn't have much time left, especially under desperate, disadvantageous conditions, she might try to stab whoever she thought of as an enemy. But Rena sounded like she really believed she would regain her happy and peaceful days after everything was over. Rena probably meant she was going to stay alive and win. Was there something like an antidote? It didn't have to be real. As long as it was an antidote to Rena's delusions, it didn't matter what it was. It could even be the water you washed over your vegetables with. But if she thought she could get the antidote so easily, she wouldn't have been so desperate about the time she has left. The antidote must be difficult for her to get. The easiest place for that, in her delusion, was that it was hidden somewhere in the clinic. Putting it all together like that, I felt like Irie and his clinic were in danger. Now that I thought about it, the elderly people in the village, including the members of the town council, hung out in the waiting room of the clinic all the time. If most of the board members happened to gather there for her, it'd be the perfect place to attack. I told Mion about that during lunch break.
普段ならそんなバカなって言いたいところだけど、その可能性を全く否定できなくもないからね。本家に電話してみるよ。診療所にも人を配置するように言っとく。
No. Don't send other people. Like, let's go, like, just us. Let's go there ourselves. Neon didn't object to my crazy idea. She put down her chopsticks and went to the teacher's office to make a phone call.
先ほどからなんだか物騒な話でございますけど、本当にレナさんがそんな恐ろしいことをなさいますの？診療所を襲うなんて信じられませんわ。
I mean, I wish.
するかもしれない。しないかもしれない。でもな、怒っちまったらおしまいなんだよ。惨劇に抗うってことは、起こさないように戦うってことなんだから。
何事もないことを祈りたいのです。
Oh shit. Ah, fuck. Okay. We have some decisions to make here, folks. Oh, okay. So, let's just go through this like real quick. A lot of you guys have mentioned that the decisions that we're making in this particular chapter, they're not the best kind. And a lot of you guys have recommended for me this time to choose the right one and just ignore the bad endings. And without talking about it too much, that is exactly what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna open a tab right over here and see where I have saved. I hope that I pinned this. Maybe. Okay, what if I were to do this? Let's see. The bed ends. Alright, let's see. Okay. Choice 1. It will be the first one. I have been told that there are like 2 points where I would have to choose this. The first choice would be the first one. And the second choice that we're going to be making like much later, it will be the second one. So first it'll be alright, and the second one is going to be... Okay, I'm not going to read that. I don't want to get spoiled, but it's going to be the second choice. Let me see. Is it still like this? Okay, first choice, top. Second choice, bottom. Top, bottom. Top, bottom. Alright.
わかりました。若いのを2人ほど診療所に送ります。
まさかとは思うけどね。何をやらかすか分かったもんじゃない。
姿を見たら直ちにひっ捕らえてしまって構いませんか？
本当は嫌なんだけどな。どうしようね。
先日の会合で竜宮レナを確保して警察に引き渡すことで決着しています。ですのでひっ捕らえても一応筋は通ります。
うちの対面じゃなくてレナの心情的に気の毒だなってこと。できたら本当に静かに決着したいんだけどね。
まあお若いですから、人さえ殺さなければ大抵はごめんなさいで済みますよ。
じゃあアウトかもだ。
いえいえ、見つからなければセーフですから。セーフ。沖宮の界隈ではあの二人の失踪を気にする者はいません。何かのヤバい話を踏んで夜逃げしたんだろうということになっています。あの程度のゴロつき、次から次へです。
Yeah, it is very easy to hide them because of their background too.
ですからセーフ。
アウトだのセーフだの、あたしら野球拳でもやってるわけ？まあいいや。それじゃあくれぐれもよろしくお願いします。
了解しました。では、ひっ捕らえてよろしいんですね。
ちゃんとタッチアウトにするんだよ。クロスプレーなんかにしないようによろしく頼みます。
I couldn't help but have a silly chat with Kase-san. When I put the phone down, I sensed Chie-sensei was looking at me. No wonder, as she had been able to hear the conversation clearly in this tiny room. Chie-sensei put her spoon down, and with a sad look on her face, she asked the following.
今の電話は竜宮さんをめぐる話ですか？
まあ、はい。
園崎さん、竜宮さんはどうして家出をしちゃったんでしょう。お友達として何か知ってはいませんか？
I don't know if I actually noticed that before. This may be the first time that I'm seeing this, but why is there like a lamp, like a golden lamp on top of that silvery, even bigger lamp, not the light lamp, like literal genie kind of lamp right there? Why is that thing there? Also, I noticed that somebody must have punched like the locker there, it seems, with some force. It was hard for anyone to understand Rena's situation, except for me and Kei-chan. So, wasn't it fault that Rena just ran away from home? But after she did, the cops made too much of a fuss over it. Oishi stupidly believed that the scrapbooks were a big scoop, and he overreacted in trying to find Rena. He had patrol cars running around everywhere in the village. He even used the town council's phone directory to find her. So, people in the village thought Rena did something wrong and was trying to run from the cops. What was going to be difficult for me, more than finding her, was to make up a story to retrieve Rena's honor after they detained her. What about this? Rena went for a walk, fell down and hit her head on the edge of some tofu, and lost her memory. Tofu? Oishi misunderstood something big time, and he thought she was a criminal. It was too easy. Anyway, we did make it clear that Oishi was the one who misunderstood everything at the meeting the other day. I had to make the best use of his name while he was feeling down for once. What I'd have to do was to not make a big deal about this situation, and to create an environment that allowed Rena to forget everything that happened, in order to get her life back together as soon as possible.
大丈夫ですよ、先生。レナは今ちょっと病気になってるだけです。それを警察の某ベテラン刑事が素敵に勘違いして話をややこしくしただけです。まさか先生、レナが悪いことをして逃走中なんて信じちゃいないですよね。
それはもちろんですけど、でも家出することによってご家族におかけしている迷惑を考えれば悪くないということはありません。
She had a fight with her father, and she ran away from home for a little while. She acted childish, and that's all. Maybe that would be the best story to go with.
何か悩みがあったのでしょうか。それに気づけなかった私は教師失格ですね。
I mean, I know that it's... I mean, if we were to make it a more believable story as an escape plan for Rena, we could bring in the story of the parents' divorce and how even to this point it is very difficult for Rena. So we could say that Rena is feeling very rebellious about the father dating some other person that is not their own mother, divorced mother. So because of that, Rena just ran away from home, just like that.
一度竜宮さんとじっくりお話がしたかったです。
先生、ちょっとヘビーに考えすぎです。もうちょっとリラックスリラックス。プチ家出なんて今時珍しくないですって。は
あ、竜宮さんがこのまま不良になってしまって悪いことを始めたらどうしましょう。
Okay. Riku-san becomes a bad kid. She does something bad and gets arrested by the police. It's her teacher's responsibility. I'll be dishonorably discharged. I can't eat curry anymore. I'm dead. Chie-sensei seemed comically upset by her own imagination. Yeah, I don't know if like, if you're gonna be able to eat your curry in peace anymore, knowing that you have been a bad teacher. Which I don't think that you are. You are a lovely, lovely teacher. It looked funny, so I decided to leave her alone. I meant to leave the teacher's office to go back to the classroom, but right then, the phone rang.
はい、もしもし。Hinamizawa文庫でございます。
Chie-sensei had to answer the phone all day today because the principal was on a business trip. I exited to the hallway. Then I heard the tone of her voice change.
今、どこにいるんですか？
What? I yelled and looked back at her. It was probably Rena. She called the school. I tried to go back inside the teacher's office, but Chie-sensei gestured at me to not come in. Chie-sensei acknowledged that what Rena was saying several times, and then she looked up at the clock.
わかりました。今からすぐ行きます。先生との約束ですよ。
She said only that, put the phone down, and got her purse out of her locker.
院長、先生は休養ができました。しばらく表へ出ますので、みんなを自習させてください。
She took her car key out from her purse. It was obvious that she was going to see Rena somewhere.
先生、今の電話はレナ。以上です。よろしく頼みますよ、院長。
Chie-sensei completely ignored me and she ran out into the hallway. Oh boy. Alright, well, you know what? Let me guess something right over here. What if Rena is not gonna go for the clinic? Imagine, like, anything in the story going my way, right? So instead of going with the idea of the clinic, which is something that I would definitely want to investigate, instead, what is happening right now is that Rena is here. It could very well be that Rena has some plan that has something to do with the school right over here. And because of that, Chie-sensei was called and she had to go somewhere. That's because Rena had made it so. Rena wanted Chie out of the picture. And, you know, to add something right over here, maybe it's because I'm paranoid or anything like that, but that smell, that bad smell that some of the kids have noticed, like, in the classroom earlier. What do I get a feeling that that has something to do with Rena as well? Oh god, imagine. Rena is gonna burn the entire school, isn't she? That's where this is gonna lead us. She ran into the schoolyard and got into her car. The moment her car left through the gate, I ran out to the schoolyard myself. I headed for the black car parked near the gate and knocked on the window.
お疲れ様です。今のところ異常ありません。
あー、違う。今出て行った先生の車を追って。多分、行く先にレナがいる。
了解っす。
レナは警戒心が強いから注意してね。
Oh god. And this is gonna help, like, if I'm to think of this theory that Rena has something to do with the school, this action right over here of sending, like, the police, like, not the police, but this car with the Sonzaki members, like, after Chie, that makes it even worse. Now Chie and the Sonzaki guards are being distracted, are being sent somewhere else when they should be here.
捕まえたら有無を言わさずに本家放り込んで、葛西の指示に従うこと。私の友人だよ。怪我なんかさせたら許さないからね。
Rena must have told Chie-sensei that she wanted to talk to her alone. I could tell easily from the way she ignored my question. I did feel a little bad for ruining their promise, but it was very important that we caught her before she did something wrong. We could still make up an excuse that she was just wandering out because she had a fight with her father and ran away from home. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But if she set fire to the clinic or something, there would be nothing I could do. The car made a rough U-turn on gravel road, and he chased after Chie-sensei's car at full speed. I watched the car until it was gone. All I could do now was to pray that this would be settled calmly.
みんな経営中。午後の授業は自習になったよ。というわけで、おとなしく席について何かやること。
自習？
Neon ran up to me and spoke quietly.
レナから電話があった。
本当か？
うん。ついさっき職員室に電話が。千恵先生が指定された場所に会いに行ったみたい。
レナのやつ、一体どういうつもりなんだ？
わかんない。
She is gonna burn the entire school down.
とにかく、うちの車に先生の後を追わせてる。レナには悪いけど、そこで踏んづかまえる。
うまくいくといいな。
荒ごとには慣れてる連中だよ。任せとこう。
じゃあ捕まえれば一件落着なのか？
だね。そしたらとりあえず病院に放り込むよ。きっと専門の医者が見たらなんだってくらいに典型的な何かの病気だよきっと。強迫性心因性ストレスなんたらとか、多分そんな感じのやつ。
While we were spending our afternoon studying peacefully, the members of the Sonzaki family would capture Rena, who was waiting for Chie-sensei somewhere. The problem would be solved. It wasn't going to be easy after that, but I was sure Mion would take good care of her. That would be just boring though. Can't we just let Rena do her thing a little bit before that happens? And in the end, everybody would understand that Rena just ran away from home because of a silly fight with her father. A happy ending. In that case, maybe Rena burning this school would be a much better fate than that. At least we would make some progress. Nah, that would be just stupid. Like, you know, I was saying all that out of paranoia before, but why would she do that here? Unless there's something secret in the school? I never really thought of that. I don't know why there would be something secret in the school that would be of interest.
一件落着でしょ。
Unless she's gonna target Mion, which would suck, or she would target Rika, which that could lead to some development, but I'm not sure. But that just didn't sound right to me. I couldn't see any connection between Rena and Chie-sensei. It was hard to explain, but it was something wrong. I mean, not to mention this, if Rena decided to distract Chie by having her go somewhere. Before, Rena was suspecting Chie of being with, in cahoots with them. Now, of course, things could change. Like, in the meantime, maybe she thinks that she's innocent. But who knows? I wasn't saying that they didn't get along. Rena was a good student, so Chie-sensei had a good relationship with her. But I just didn't understand what Rena wanted from Chie-sensei. While I was thinking about it, the door opened, and one of our classmates came back from the bathroom. Well, okay. Hey there, Rena.
Rena!
Sporting a good old hatchet.
みんな、起立起立。教室の真ん中に集まって。
Everyone gasped in surprise. Even Chie-sensei couldn't make everybody go so quiet all of a sudden. I guess it is true that she had something to do with the school But why? Rena was gripping the shoulder of the student who came back from the bathroom. In her other hand, she had a big, scary-looking hatchet. It was the same one she had the other night. Everyone immediately understood that Rena had taken it a hostage.
みんな、聞こえてない？教室の真ん中に集まって。机は周りにどけちゃってね。
Nobody grasped what she was asking us to do. We all froze. Rena was the only one who was smiling. It was terrifying.
兄ちゃん、委員長でしょ？みんなに指示して。
レナ、あんた何をやってんの？
Bam! A loud noise washed out Mio's voice. Rena hit the teacher's desk really hard with her hatchet. She pulled out the hatchet, making an ominous ripping noise. There was now a line of violence carved plainly into the desk. Uh-oh. She broke it. Chie-sensei is going to get mad when she comes back. Yeah, Keiichi, the least of our worries is going to be that desk. No, that wasn't it. What the hell?
みーちゃんはやっぱりダメだね。じゃあケイイチくんに頼むよ。ケイイチくんだけは最後まで私の仲間なんだよね。だから信じていいんだよね。
Rena, your eyes, you look so scary. Never seen eyes like that in my life. Your eyes are full of insanity. Why are people afraid of insanity? Insanity means that a person doesn't share the same values and the same common sense as us. For example, say a thief breaks into your house and he ties you up. You'll get scared and wonder if he's going to stab you before he leaves. But you hope that the thief has feelings too, and that he's not going to kill you for no reason. No matter how bad the person is, we tend to believe in his goodwill as long as we share the same values, the same common sense, and the same morals as him. But we can't expect goodwill from somebody who doesn't have those things. We can't expect goodwill from a person who can't communicate with us. When a burglar has a knife and you beg him not to hurt you, you expect him to listen to you and show you mercy. In other words, you can still communicate with him. But if he doesn't have the ability to communicate, he's just like a monster that's trying to attack you, or like the blade of a guillotine that's falling down on you. You fear him because you can't communicate with him. That's insanity. It was the same fear we were feeling towards Rena at the very moment. Rena, couldn't you have directed your insanity to the clinic maybe? I mean, I kind of expected this too, but why here? She looked like a human just like us. But there was no room for her to communicate with us like a normal person could do. Everybody understood that fear instinctively.
ケイイチくん、机をどけさせて教室の真ん中に広場を作って。
わかった。みんな、レナが言うのに従おう。
Rena was like a barrel of gunpowder at that moment. She seemed really calm and quiet, but she could explode any minute. When she did, I doubt she'd show us any mercy. She probably wouldn't hesitate to use that hatchet on us. That's right. Just like how I didn't feel guilty or hesitate to kill Rena and Mion. Everybody went all quiet while pushing the desks against the wall to make a space where Rena wanted it. Rena, saying they were moving too slow, hit the blackboard with a hatchet, making a horrible noise. Every time she did that, she left an equally horrible scar on the blackboard, the thing that we looked at most in school.
じゃあケイイチくん、みんなのロッカーから縄跳びを出してもらえるかな。それを使ってみんなを後ろ手で縛ってね。
俺、縛るのとか下手くそなんだよ。多分上手に縛れないぞ。
後でちゃんと縛れているか全員のを調べる。ゆるい人はその場で殺しちゃうからしっかり縛ってあげてね。
We are still kids. We saw the word kill all the time. It was used a lot in comic books and cartoons after all. So normally you would assume we'd be used to hearing the word kill. But when Rena said she'd kill us, it sounded so frightening. I never heard something like that before in my life. To Rena, our lives were like cards she could use for negotiation. She'd get rid of one card every time somebody refused her request. Get rid of? Damn it. Why do we use such scary words like get rid of for simple things like playing cards? Anyway, there were about 20 students in class. That was a little bit too many for Rena to handle. She might get rid of one or two just to set an example. I decided to do what Rena said because I didn't want her to lose her temper. I got out everybody's jump ropes from their lockers. Okay.
じゃあみんな、床にうつ伏せになってね。ケイチくんは後ろ手にどんどん縛っていって。きっちり縛るんだよ。ケイチくんは私の味方だもん。だから、わざとゆるくなんか縛ったりしない。ね。
Mion tried to make eye contact with me. If everybody was tied down, we wouldn't be able to stop her from occupying the school. There were more than 20 students in this class. Half of them were boys, but most of them were smaller than Rena. But there were enough people here to overpower her. But if we did that, Rena would probably hit her hostage with a hatchet. And she used the hatchet to attack the rest of us without hesitation. It would be a bloody battle. Yeah, and I get the feeling that if she were to do that, we wouldn't be able to hide that body as easily for Rena to have her peaceful life. I'm sure somebody would get hurt if we tried to overpower her. The hostage would be seriously injured, or maybe even die. If that happened, it was over. No matter how hard we tried to cover it up, she'd never be able to live peacefully like before. That's what I was saying, yeah. Mion seemed to understand that too. I could tell from Rena's eyes that she wasn't going to go on easy on us. If somebody showed defiance, she'd break the hostage's head open immediately. Of course, Rena had done that before. She'd probably do it again with no hesitation. But as long as we did what she said, we could prevent that bloody tragedy. If we could somehow solve the situation without shedding any blood, with Mion's influence, we might still be able to pretend that this never happened. As long as all 20 students in this classroom are on the same page, that is. At the least, we had to make sure she didn't kill anyone.
従おう。ケイちゃん。
Mion tried to think of ways to overpower Rena, but she couldn't come up with any good ideas to save the hostage. That's how easy it would be for Rena to kill them. The best thing to do at the time was to wait for a chance without agitating her further. Mion lay down on the floor, and everyone else followed suit, sluggish with terror. And I was left alone, standing rooted to the spot with jump ropes in my hands. All my classmates were lying face down on the floor, while Rena was pointing the hatchet at the hostage, watching our every move from behind the teacher's desk. I just stood frozen in the middle of it all.
ケイチくんにはまだまだ手伝ってもらうことがたくさんあるの。だから早くして。あんまり時間がかかると何人かが死んでしまうかもしれない。
Some of the little kids started crying when they heard the word die.
大丈夫だよみんな。ケイチくんがきっと助けてくれるから。だからきっと誰も殺されないよ。
Damn it. What a bold threat. She said I was her friend, but she was just playing with the meaning of the word. I was the last person who could still fight against Rena under these circumstances. But it wasn't going to be easy to overpower her by myself. I wasn't sure if I could do that. Even if I tried to act tough, Once Rena pointed a hatchet at somebody's neck, it was over. I shouldn't fight against her for now. I should just wait for a chance. As long as Rena was alone, there would be a chance. She made me tie them up because she couldn't do that by herself. There was a limit to what she could do, because she was by herself. If we could cover this up somehow before Chie-sensei came back, we'd still be able to pretend like we were kidding around. I finally realized something. I realized why Rena called Chie-sensei to meet with her. In order for Rena to take over the classroom, she needed to get rid of Chie-sensei. Chie-sensei had a very strong sense of justice. Even if Rena had a gun, she wouldn't hesitate to overpower her. She was the kind of teacher who would risk her life for her students. Rena needed to figure out how to get rid of Chie-sensei. That was the key to her plan. Well, I guess that gives you a little bit of a clue into Rena's mind in that at the very least she doesn't want to kill Chie-sensei, because otherwise one of her plans would be to definitely kill Chie-sensei in a surprise attack. But now instead, she would have her go away. Not because Chie would overpower Rena no matter what. It's just that she more than likely knows that Chie would have went in to attack Rena, and Rena would have no choice but to kill Chie there. So, at the very least, I'm hopeful that Rena is in the state where she has gone far, but she still doesn't want to kill any of us. Hopefully. Otherwise, she would have started to slaughter like all of us by now. Rena probably thought about attacking her from behind at first, but there was risk there, as Chie-sensei was a grown-up woman. So she probably thought that attacking her directly wasn't a wise choice. So, naturally, the next option was to lure her out somewhere. Rena called Chie-sensei and told her she wanted to talk to her in private, in order to lure her out to some place far from here. Most people, including Chie-sensei, thought Rena was just running away from home. So, Chie-sensei must have thought Rena had some problems. She wanted to talk to her about. It was too easy to deceive her. Where did she make the phone call from? She probably used the phone in the school. Well, not in school to be exact. She probably used the phone on the second floor of the school, the one belonging to the forestry service. And this school was using part of the forestry service building, but this particular location was more of a branch office. So it's not like somebody was here all the time. Rena knew that. She had probably been hiding there for a while. She called the phone on the first floor from the second floor, and she made Chie-sensei leave the school. I didn't think it was a coincidence that the principal was on a business trip today. She probably snuck into the school yesterday. She saw the principal's schedule, learned how to call the phone on the first floor from the second, and carried out her plan. She planned it perfectly. Yeah, I knew it. Rena was insane. But I knew she was also actually real calm. She was possessed by her delusion, but she was also unbelievably calm about it. And yeah, basically. So, she could still think fast. I knew that very well, because I'd been through the same thing before. What was worse is that Mion's bodyguards were gone. Mion told them to follow Chie-sensei because she thought Chie-sensei was going to meet with Rena. Damn it. Everything seemed to be working out in her favor. Now I am still worried about that smell that the students have sensed, like out the window earlier. Knowing that, but I'm realizing something that may also come from my paranoia as well, but remember that some of the students were complaining about a missing ball, and they were blaming Satoko for it. I wonder if that is foreshadowing for something. Rena took a ball for a specific reason that we don't know of.
縛ったぞ。
I tied up the last person, and I looked in Rena's direction. If I didn't tie them up very tightly, Rena would kill them. But when I tied them too tightly, they suffered in pain. Their pained cries made me feel useless.
ありがとう、ケイチくん。ケイチくんを疑りはしないけど、一応全員を調べるね。ケイチくんは頭の上で手を組んでうつ伏せに寝ててね。これは全員に言うけど、私の断りなく立ち上がったら殺す。本人も殺すし、見せしめでランダムにもう一人殺す。ランダムじゃよくないね。じゃあこうしよう。言うことを聞かなかった子と出席番号に銃を加えた子を殺すにしようかな。例えば岡村くんが言うことを聞かなかったとする。そうすると出席番号11番渡辺くんが一緒に殺されちゃう。
Oh my god. Gee, what a way to... what a way to remind me of school. You know, because each of us students had like, back in school and all that, we all had like a number in like the big book of the students with all the grades inside it. And some teachers would choose like random numbers for the student to go to the blackboard or something like that. Jesus Christ.
わかる？常に2人死ぬの。歯向かっても自分の命一つじゃ責任が取れないってこと。よーく胸に刻んでおくんだよ。
You know, those were harsh times. Times of struggle. Times of war. When the professor would choose a random number from the school book. That is a time for us students to panic. How awful. She totally understood how to threaten people. Normally, you stand against an attacker at your own risk. If you fail, you're going to die. But if you're responsible to someone else, then you couldn't try to resist. You can't risk somebody's life with your own decisions.
全員ちゃんと縛れてるね。ケイチくん、縛るの下手くそって言ってたけど、結構うまいよ。自信持っていいよ。じゃあ、ケイチくんは立って。
It was too late to fight back. I followed her orders. I just had to wait for a chance. We could still turn this into some kind of bad joke. I had to do something. Anyway, what were you planning to do, Rena? Don't tell me this is the come from behind victory you were talking about. I don't know. Like, are Satoko and Rika tied up as well in the classroom, or are they somewhere else? Because I don't know.
沖宮 TS より前者へ。沖宮 TS より前者へ。ひなみざわ営林署にて籠城事件発生。人質多数。前者は至急ひなみざわ営林署へ向かわれたし。
クマちゃん、遅れて申し訳ない。
If I'm to think about it, this could very well be part of Rena's plan to lure somebody specifically, since we're having this situation. Oishi and Kumagai, I don't think so. I think that, like, if I'm to think of my theories, maybe try to lure, like, the secret organization / Takano. Because it kind of reminds me of that point in chapter 1 where, Keiichi is going complete bonkers and even killed Mion and Rena in his own house, and thus the people in black suits in the white van would just come in and just try to erase all evidence of whatever plans, like secret plans, like the secret organization would have. Same here. there is a very dangerous situation going on at the school. So the secret organization would come in and try to take care of the situation secretly so that it wouldn't escalate. And that could be what Rena is going after. Like, she knows that if she were to do this, then the people behind the disease would come in and try to, go after Rena. And that's when Rena is gonna attack. That could be it.
状況は
I mean, I hope.
ご苦労様っす。本日午後1時頃、南沢営林署内の南沢分校区画にて教室占拠が発生しました。当時教室にいた生徒25名全員が拘束されている模様。
25.
犯人側の第一要求は、営林署敷地内への一切の立ち入りの禁止と当保へのホットラインの確保です。
Like all of them. I guess that would include Satoko and Rika as well. Damn it.
ってことは初めっから警察と交渉する気ってことですか。どういうつもりだ。
あと犯人は交渉人に大石さんを指名してます。犯人は竜宮玲奈。
竜宮さんがわかりました。いいですよ。ことことんお付き合いさせてもらいましょう。
Oishi gave a crooked smile.
竜宮玲奈以外に犯人がいるか不明です。カーテンが閉められているので状況も一切確認できていません。
通報者に占拠時の様子は聞いてませんか。
いえ、竜宮玲奈からの直接の犯行声明でした。よって内部の状況は一切不明。担任は犯行直前に竜宮玲奈の電話呼び出しを受け、遠方に呼び出された間の犯行でした。
計画的ですね。営林署側の人間は人質には。
今日は営林署職員は不在でした。よって生徒25名のみ。生徒数は担任が出席簿で確認した人数です。
それプラス犯人ってわけか。竜宮玲奈以外に犯人らしき人影は。
いえ、何度かカーテンから覗く人影がありましたが、いずれも竜宮玲奈本人でした。ですが規模他を考えて、おそらく最低でももう一人二人はいると予想されます。
いや、単独犯かもしれませんよ。
Rena Ryugyu was a true believer in Miyotaka no scrapbooks. According to those scrapbooks, the entire village was Rena Ryugyu's enemy. She didn't have anyone she can trust. However, Oishi had also believed in Miyotaka-no's delusion. It was possible that someone who was influenced in the same way was following Rena Ryugyu.
おいさん、校長と担任です。
ああ、どうもどうも、Chie-sensei。大丈夫ですか。
Oishi ran up to Chie-sensei, who was crying with a handkerchief held up to her face.
レナちゃんはとても真面目ないい子なんです。こんなことをするなんて何かの間違いに決まっています。
マニュアル通りなら最近の竜宮さんの状況についてお聞きするところなんですがね。多分竜宮さんに限っては先生より私の方が詳しいように思います。まあ気を落とされずになんとか穏便に解決しますからご安心を。
Chie-sensei was huddled over, and Oishi didn't think he could say anything else to her. On the contrary, the principal was staying strong, trying to figure out how to take care of the situation.
大石殿、もしできるなら人質の交換を申し出たい。ぜひ私と子供たちを交換していただきたい。
校長先生、それは私がやります。私が悪いんです。
先生方、どうかご自分を責められないでください。先生方には校内の状況についていろいろとお聞きしたいことがありますので、 ご協力をお願いいたします。ボンジ君、図面の方で話を聞いてあげてください。
失礼します。1号車の無線に高杉課長です。
はいはい、もしもし。
大石さん、ご苦労さん。状況の大体は熊谷君に聞いたよ。犯人は未成年だそうだね。マスコミ規制の方を厳重に頼むよ。
分かってます。あと、犯人側が私を交渉人に指定してきてるようですが、問題ありませんかね。
竜宮玲奈の件は先日の寄生虫の話以来よく知ってる。その流れなら犯人は君のことをまだ味方だと思ってくれているんだと思う。大石君以外には務まらない。くれぐれもよろしく。
本当はすっごく嫌なんですがね。ちょっと今回はいろいろとお騒がせした責任を感じてますので、罪滅ぼしに一つお引き受けさせていただきます。
おいさん、車載電話に犯人です。
早速ご指名の電話が来ました。早速出ることにします。ありがとう。はい、もしもし、大石です。
大石さんですか？どうも、竜宮です。
どうもどうも、大石です。
車載電話って電波とかが悪いんですか？たまにちょっと聞こえにくくなりますね。
私と同じでね、定年間近なんですよ、きっと。
But the AC is still going strong, baby. Forever and ever. Wei and I exchange friendly words. The AC is the only one that is still young. Like, young and strong. Going for like this is still the only young and strong part of the machine, like of the car, that is still going strong. English. Wow, that was such broken English right there. My apologies. A long cord trailed through the hallway from the teacher's office. That cord extended further to the phone on the podium in the classroom.
では本題に入りますね。まず最初にあなたが交渉人たる資格があるか確認します。
自信ないな。お伺いします。
大石さんは私の味方ですよね。
当然じゃないですか。あなたと私で園崎家の陰謀を暴こうじゃないですか。
Oishi answered without hesitation. Was he still my ally? Or was this sly detective just saying what I wanted to hear? Either way, I only had Oishi to depend on. If I couldn't trust him, I was stuck. There would be nothing else I could do.
圭一くんも一時期は私が言ってることを信じてくれなかったんだよね。でも今は信じるでしょ？
Keiichi-kun was sitting on the floor facing away from me, with his head resting in his hands.
今はもう私の仲間で味方だもんね。
ああ、そうだ。
Then Ryugyu asked Keiichi Maebara if he was her comrade, but I couldn't hear his voice. Was she trying to tell me that Keiichi Maebara was still alive? Or that he was being forced to obey her because of the hostages?
前原さんも竜宮さんの味方なんですね。心強いことです。でもあなたも一時期前原さんを少し疑われていたじゃないですか。
モデルガンの事件を聞いてなんて人だろうって思った。でも過去の事件で今を見損なっちゃいけない。それらを踏み台にして私たちはより良い理想の自分になれるように成長していかなくちゃならないんだから。
とてもいいことを言いますね。まさにその通りです。
だから私たちは許し合ったの。だから圭一くんのことを私はもう疑わない。圭一くんは仲間。
わかりました。ならばそれは私にとっても圭一くんは仲間ということですね。圭一くんに私がよろしくと言ってると伝えてください。
後で言っておきますね。
圭一くんにも新しい仲間としてご挨拶がしたいです。 受話器に出てもらうことはできますか？
The conversation stopped suddenly. That made me nervous. Did I say something wrong?
いいよ。ケイチ君、大石さんから電話だよ。
I heard some rattling and rustling on the other side of the phone.
もしもし、
Yo!
前原です。
Yo, domo, Maebara-san. He sounded monotone. Unable to disobey. Was my impression of Oishi good this time around, folks? Unable to disobey. Keiichi Maebara must have been pretending to follow Rena Ryugu's orders.
どうも前原さん。沖宮署の大石です。この度はお世話になります。お互い頑張りましょう。
はい。よろしくお願いします。
龍宮さんは今何をしてますか？
教室の中を歩いてますよ。
前原さん、イエスならはい、ノーなら A と相槌を打ってください。
Okay.
あなたは龍宮さんが何を要求しようとしているか知っていますか？
In this very, like, in this context, exactly, yeah.
ええ。
Like, in the grand scheme of things, she wants to get rid of the disease and all that and stop whoever's behind this, but what she's doing here specifically in this school, in this hostage situation, why she's doing this, for what reason, like how this is gonna help her in the grand scheme of things, yeah. Keiichi Maebara wasn't Rena Ryugu's accomplice. There's no way Rena wouldn't tell her accomplice what she wanted after planning a hostage situation like this. How would he help someone who wouldn't even tell him what she wanted?
単刀直入にお聞きします。あなたは龍宮レナの味方？
Yeah?
いえいえ、質問を変えます。あなたは龍宮レナに脅迫されて従っているふりをしている。
Yes.
はい。
There you go. The other guys in the car listening to our conversation raised their fists in victory.
犯人は龍宮レナの一人だけ？
Yes.
はい。
If she was the only suspect, then we could have responded properly. I guess nobody else believed in Takano's scrapbooks. If so, my being fooled was even more embarrassing. As I thought about my next question, I heard the phone being taken away from Keiichi. Rena came back on the line.
ね、ケイチ君は味方でしょ？
ねえ、そうでした。
Damn it.
とても頼もしいですよ。
で、今度は大石さんが話してくれる番。前の電話で約束した園崎家関係への一斉捜査はどうですか？秘密の研究施設は発見できましたか？
I had to decide on what to say. Should I tell her we conducted raids or not? Maybe she already knew we didn't raid. Maybe she was just testing me.
今ですね、県警の暴隊と公安部で一斉捜査作戦を準備中なんです。何しろ市内全域を一斉にやりますからね。調整に多少の時間が。
遅すぎる！大石さん、私たちは今、獅子骨市が置かれている緊急的危機についてよく理解し合っているんじゃなかったでしたっけ？
There could be like invisible UFOs flying like above us as we speak.
何をのんびりとしたこと？大石さん、本当に私の話を信じてくれているんですよね？私の味方なんですよね？味方ですよね？答えてください。
もちろんですとも。ですが、警察組織ってやつは簡単じゃないんです。
We could be talking about anal probing, Oishi-san. Anal probing!
私も最大限努力をしてるんですよ。本当です。ただですね、やはり話の規模があまりに大きすぎるもので。
大石さん、
私、奴らにどこかで毒を盛られました。富武さんに、あの異常な死に方を強いた、原始の力を持った寄生虫。あれをどこかで盛られたんです。昨日から、かゆくて仕方がない。もう私、首をかきむしりすぎて血まみれなんです。いつ錯乱して喉をかき破ってしまうかもわからないというのに、おいさんは何をもたもたと。
I knew it. Oishi didn't realize how dire the situation was. He understood there was some kind of conspiracy in Hinamizawa, but he didn't realize how soon their plan was going to be executed. Besides, I was already feeling itchy all over my body and was bound to soon die the same way as Tomitake-san.
申し訳ないです。これでも頑張っているんです。ただですね、みんな言うんですよ。その証拠はないのかと。
証拠があればすぐに動いてくれるんですか？
Mio-san's scrapbooks. Maybe that was what I'd need to convince the police. I was afraid someone would destroy the evidence if I handed them over to Oishi-san, so I kept them with me. But I didn't have much longer to live. I might not even make it until tomorrow morning. That's right. I might be dead before tomorrow. I would die tonight.
わかりました。ミオさんのスクラップ帳をお渡しします。それでどうか他の警察の人たちを一刻も早く説得してください。
ああ、助かります。そのスクラップ帳をぜひ。
I looked through my backpack, which was lying by my feet. Now pausing right over here to comment on something that I said like previously, something related to this situation. Well, kinda. It is still related, but going back to my theory of how Rika's death would lead to total devastation, and how I was saying that maybe Rena is trying to lure the people behind the disease and all that. Not the police or the Sonozaki, but some secret entity that I'm thinking of. Or aliens, I guess. Like, whoever they are, they would not be pleased to know that Urika may end up dying right here in this school. So they would definitely come here to try to assess the situation so that they would end up, I don't know, killing Urika themselves in order to enact their total destruction plan or something. I don't know. Mio-san's scrapbooks were in there.
これは私たちの切り札です。大石さん、くれぐれも、いや、絶対によろしくお願いします。
わかりました。信頼してください。必ずや奴らの陰謀を暴いてみせます。
でも、まあ多分、警察も組織だからそうなんだろうなとは思ってたんです。だから、ちょっと強引なやり方だけど、こんな形を取らせてもらったんです。大石さんは、私に要求されて仕方なくやっているという言い訳ができるはず。なんとか、このチャンスを有効に生かしてください。
ありがとうございます。必ずや、あなたの期待に添えるよう努力します。では、どうしましょう。私が受け取りに参りましょうか。
I knew she would let me into the classroom. She was still cautious. I could guess where Ariakey was going to take this thing, so I tried to stay ahead of her. I handed a memo with my instructions on it to a colleague.
さすがに私がこの場を離れるわけにはいかないので、代わりに圭一君に持って行かせます。
その方がいいかもしれません。やはりあなたが学校の外へ出れば、もしやということもあるかもしれませんので。
もしやって？
いえ、この騒ぎをもう園崎家も嗅ぎつけているでしょう。あなたがこういう手に打って出るとは思わなかったでしょうから、強引な手で口封じをしてくる可能性があります。
口封じ？それって。
狙撃です。園崎家のヒットマンは多分あなたがこれ以上騒ぎを大きくする前に狙撃しようと企むでしょう。だからあなたは表に出ない方がいい。窓にも近づかないでください。さっきから何度か顔を出しているようですが、あれは危ない。
I see. So Oishi is trying to scare Rena into not looking outside the window, so that when Keiichi comes in with the scrapbooks to Oishi, they may have like at least a minute to talk to each other and, you know, try to form a plan or something, like try to distract Rena and, you know, come up with some plan together with Keiichi.
そこを撃たれてしまいますよ。
ちょっと周りには警察がいるんでしょ。そんなの未然に防げないんですか。
防げるなら防ぎます。ですがね、周りの視界が良すぎます。訓練を受けたものなら400メートルくらいはやすやすと狙撃するそうです。ましてや、あなたもご存知の通り、園崎家の特攻隊は軍事訓練を受け、中でも暗殺技術に関しては特に習得しています。奴らは侮らないでください。園崎家の陰謀を暴くには、あなたの力がまだまだ必要なんです。
わかりました。忠告をありがとうございます。どうせ明日まで持たない命でも、今終わらせるわけにはいきませんので。
そうですともそうですとも。いいですか。くれぐれも窓から顔を覗かせないでくださいよ。用心してください。
The phone conversation ended. Rena Ryugi was going to let Keiichi Maebara deliver the scrapbooks.
さっき書いたやつ用意できてますね。
OK です。うまく渡せますかね。
狙撃されるかもしれないと脅して外を覗かせないようにしたつもりです。でもまあ見てるでしょうね。そこはうまくやります。
Okay. I roughly understood what was going on from the phone conversation.
じゃあケイチ君、これとても大切なスクラップ帳。園崎家の陰謀と奴らの侵略の証拠を暴く証拠。大石さんに渡してきてね。渡したらすぐに戻ってくるんだよ。見てるからね。変なことをしたら怒るからね。
Rena took out a couple of old scrapbooks from her backpack and gave them to me. Then she cast a sidelong glance at me.
みーちゃんにも後で話すよ。みーちゃんの家がどれほど恐ろしい陰謀を企んでいるかをね。ひょっとするともう知ってるのかもしれないけどね。じゃあケイチ君、行ってきて。校庭の真ん中まででいいよ。余計な立ち話とかしちゃダメ。ケイチ君は持っていくだけだから無言でいいや。おしゃべり禁止だからね。おしゃべりしたらチエ先生なら T 定規で叩くけど、私ならなんで叩いちゃおうかな。
わかってるよ。無言で持っていくからそのナタを下ろせ。俺はレナの仲間だろ。仲間だったら信用しろな。
そうだね。仲間だから信用するよ。だから裏切らないでね。
Rena's eyes were telling me clearly. They were telling me she didn't trust me. But even in this state, she also knew she shouldn't distrust her friends. Therefore, although she couldn't trust me, she was pretending to. That was why she didn't tie me up.
じゃあ行ってくる。すぐ戻るよ。
よろしくね。
I walked past my friends, who were lying down on the floor, and headed to the exit. I saw some of their faces as I passed. Some were fearful, some were sure that I'd use the opportunity to run, and some were scared that I'd die if I did. Don't worry, guys. I won't let her even touch any of you. If Anna tries to do something, I'll stop her even if I have to risk my own life. Anyway, I'd do whatever it took to ensure that nobody died. I had to make sure Rena didn't get angry. I just wait for the right moment. I went down to the school entrance and changed my shoes. Then unlocked the door and stepped outside. I felt the fresh air on my skin. I saw the lights from the police cars. I could feel all the policemen looking at me, As soon as I was in the schoolyard, a little voice tried to tempt me. I was free from Rena now. If I ran off the school grounds, I'd be free. What was I thinking? If I did something like that, Rena would go crazy and who knows what else she'd do. The important thing here wasn't my safety. It was to make sure that Rena didn't kill anyone. I saw a big man coming towards me from the school gate. That was probably Oishi-san.
前原圭一さんですね。どうもどうも。沖宮市の大石です。クラちゃんと呼んでくださっても。
すみません。レナから何も喋らずにこれを渡せって言われてます。だから無言でこれを受け取ってください。
わかりました。それが問題のスクラップ帳ですね。お預かりします。
I tried to hand the scrapbooks to Oishi-san, but he stepped aside a little. Eh? Confused as to what he was doing, I changed my position and handed them to him again. He took them that time. At that point, Oishi put something that was under his jacket into my pocket. Ooh.
大丈夫です。校舎はあなたの背中ですから、竜宮さんが窓から見てたとしても、今のやりとりは見えていません。
何なんですかこれは。
I couldn't look into my pocket because I didn't want Renato to suspect anything. But whatever it was pretty heavy for its size.
あなたへのメモもあります。教室へ戻る途中で竜宮さんに見つからないようにこっそり読んでください。では、そのまま戻って、これ以上は不審がられます。
I just followed his directions. I was worried that Rena had begun to suspect something. When I looked at the classroom, the curtains were closed. But that didn't mean she wasn't peeking out through a crack. I went back to the entrance and locked the door. If Rena had checked and found the door unlocked, it could cause more trouble. Rena was in the classroom. There was no way she'd come down this way. She was alone. If she left the classroom, everyone would get up and run. They couldn't run because Rena was there, but they were all waiting for their chance. The entrance, then, was Rena's blind spot. As I changed my shoes, I quickly removed what Oishi-san had put into my pocket. There was a radio with an earpiece? And something else that looked like a short police baton. There was also a folded piece of paper. I opened the piece of paper and saw a note written in small print. Domo domo, Maebara-san. Please hide the bug in your pocket. It picks up even a low voice, so you can use it to get in touch with me. By using the earphone, you can hear me in return. There's also a spray for self-protection. It sprays as far as 1 meter. Make sure you aim for the face. This must be the spray. I guess it's safe to try it here. I held down the button and gas sprayed out from the nozzle. Compared to Rena's hatchet, this required some caution, but it was small enough to fit inside of my hand. It was reassuring that I could hide it so easily. In other words, it was now possible for me to stop Rena. As I realized all my classmates' face rested on my shoulders, I felt sweat form on my face. Gotta do this carefully, Keiichi. The memo continued. The spray is just for self-defensive purposes. Pepper spray only impairs eyesight, and while it makes your enemy powerless due to extreme pain and coughing for at least 30 minutes, it's not powerful enough to render them unconscious. Therefore, please don't forget there is a possibility that your enemy may fight back, desperately in panic. The spray is your last resort. Please don't depend on it, but if you need to, make sure to use it. Oishi. Was he telling me to use it or not? It was probably one of those grown-up issues. If the cops entrusted me solely with the fate of the hostages and I failed, they'd be held liable. So while he gave me a weapon, He made me consider its use. I hid the bug and the spray in my pockets and went back to the classroom. I felt a little dizzy, maybe because I was nervous. I was simply following Rena's orders because I had no other choice. That was why I wasn't scared. But things were different from before. I had a weapon. I was in a far better position, but my heart was pounding. Humans are so strange. Yeah, tell me about it. Shit, what am I going to do? What should I do, Keiichi Maebara? Did I want to fight with Rena? The Momo said the spray only reaches as far as 1 meter. 1 meter? That was basically a hand-to-hand battle. That meant I only had one opportunity. I didn't have a second chance. The memo also said I'd need to aim for her face. That wasn't going to be easy. Shit. Besides, Rena was cautious. How could I stand directly in front of her within 1 meter? But that's what I'd have to do if I was to have any chance of winning. Rena would do anything to reach her goal. She wouldn't even hesitate to kill. Just like how I didn't. Of course, things were already extremely serious. An apology definitely wouldn't be enough. But at least there hadn't been any casualties. The more time passed, the more irritated Rena would get. She might demand something again, and she might kill someone that time to show how serious she was. Bad things had already taken place, but the tragedy hadn't occurred yet. But it was almost here. It wasn't very far at all. When I closed my eyes, I could easily picture Rena killing one classmate after another. After I killed Rena and Mion, my room was covered in blood. If you killed 20 people, the classroom would be a pool of it. If that happened, Rena would... She still wouldn't realize she was being delusional. She would rip out her own throat and die. That would be too big a cross for her to carry, and one day she would remember and be saddened. She didn't need to go through that. I didn't want Rena to go through what I had to go through. Shit. I felt dizzy. This was a very long hallway. I didn't know the classroom was so far. With each step I took, my determination to fight Rena became stronger. Rena would be shocked to realize I betrayed her. But if she couldn't wake up from the nightmare on her own, someone else would have to wake her up. And her friends needed to be the ones to do that.
おかえり、ケイチくん。大石さん、何か言ってた？
なんだ？
Smell. As soon as I stepped into the classroom, I smelled something. Everyone had moved to one corner of the classroom. The smell reminded me of a gas station. The gasoline. That smell that we smelled before. Was it gasoline? I saw a red gasoline container by Rena's feet. The cap was open. It was seemingly sturdy and made of metal. It said gasoline on the side, written in felt marker. She must have spread it across the entire classroom. The smell was almost giving me a headache. No, it wasn't just in the classroom. The classmates were soaked in gasoline too. Jesus Christ, Rena, are you seriously gonna try and burn the entire school right here? How could she? See, this was just like a hijacker holding a bomb. If the police were to rush in, she would burn the hostages. I didn't know where she got it, but she had a lighter in her left hand.
レナ、これはどういう真似だよ。
もちろんやらないよ。万が一の時の保険なの。私だって大好きなみんなのバーベキューなんて見たくない。だから冗談で済んでほしいって思ってる。
Rena showed off the lighter. Obviously, she was trying to threaten me. I've heard about people committing suicide by setting themselves on fire. They poured gasoline on themselves and lighted a blaze. You might think that if it was extinguished right away, it wouldn't be that bad. But human skin is supposedly very delicate, and they say that even if 30% of a person's skin gets burned, it's enough to be fatal. If it was your entire body, it would result in death for sure. I have been put in a disadvantageous position. My weapon might take Rena's sight, but I couldn't stop her from using the lighter. Yeah, truly. 1 second of turning the lighter on and just throwing like on the ground, and that will be it. She'll probably use it the moment she is attacked. I didn't know if she realized it, but the kind of lighter she had would keep burning until the lid was closed. Therefore, all she had to do was to light it and drop it on the floor. Yeah, basically. In other words, my spray can wouldn't make Rena powerless at all. The last resort Oishi-san gave me had already lost all its power.
保険なんて大丈夫だろう。大石さんはスクラップ帳があればきっと警察を納得させられる。そうなればあとは一斉捜査で奴らの陰謀が暴ける。そうなんだろう。
あのスクラップ帳だけで本当に動いてくれるかな。